For this step, we are trying to reduce the bulkiness of the pocket, and so we are going to set a seam gauge at 1/4 of an inch. That's 2/8, 1/8, 2/8, so it's a second little mark over, and I am going to measure 1/4 of an inch in from the end of my fabric on the side and on the bottom, and I'm just going to trim it off. So from here, I'm going to trim up the side. And right here, I'm going to cut over. That's just trash. I'm going to do the same thing across the bottom, all the way across the bottom of the pocket. So I'm just going to line that up with my 1/4 of an inch and then just trim off all the way across the bottom. So you may wonder, why didn't we just sew it with a smaller seam allowance? Sometimes I wonder that myself, because you do have to do an extra step here with trimming down a wide seam allowance, but it is a lot easier and more precise to sew at a 5/8 than at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, so or a 3/8 seam allowance. So this just gives you a little more to work with in the beginning, and then you end up trimming it off later. And then we'll trim off this other side. So guys, I don't expect you to get out your marking pencils and mark it or anything. It's just you're reducing the bulk. You do not want to cut clear through to the seam. That would be a problem. But otherwise, it does not need to be an exact science, but you're trimming down that seam. You're trimming it about in half. So that's it. And there you have it.